So I've got a 9-book pre-screen back from CGC here. I think there's probably the weight of it. I can feel at least 5 books, maybe 6, maybe 7, not sure. I'm always happy to get 50%, and usually I do a little bit better than that. These were all 9.6s in my opinion. So I thought, what the heck, let's do a 9.8 pre-screen and just see what happens here. And why do I do 9-book pre-screens? Well, no reason, man. I don't have to hit 10, I don't have to hit 5, 20, whatever. I'm not one of those people that has to hit even numbers. If I've got 9 books ready to go and I don't have anything else in the pipeline, I'll just submit it. Don't really care. So let's get this thing open and see what we've got. So it looks like we've got some random books in here. It looks like we got some X-Men, some Spider-Man, and then a couple other books, and we'll just unveil those if they get the 9.8. So I haven't looked at these. I'm just going to randomly pull from the box like usual, and let's see what happens. Oh, these are packed tight in here. I guess that's better than packed loose, right? All right, first one. Okay, Amazing Spider-Man number 202. We got a white pager, 9.8 here. This book I paid $37 total, taxes, shipping, everything included. This has quite a bit of value in a 9.8, which is why I submitted it. And this one I have borderline 9.6, 9.8. I have it barely in the 9.6 category. So a lot of the time when I do that, I'm a conservative grader, I'll get the 9.8. So we're off to a very good start. Okay, that is a really good start because that thing's worth quite a bit, or at least it was last time I checked. Next book. Pull randomly here from, well, let's pull from the middle again since it's easier. Okay, what do we got here? Amazing Spider-Man 302. Yes! This one is a PC book because I do not have a 9.8 copy of this, and this one is even a newsstand. Now, it depends on what the value is on this thing because this can be worth quite a bit of money. Is 302 the valuable one or 303? I know 301 is. Might be 302 is very valuable in a 9.8 newsstand. Yeah, I can't believe I got this one in a 9.8. So this one I had a note that there were a couple color breaks on the back spine and a little color rub on the top of the spine here. But other than that, this book was pretty perfect. This book has some common defects on it. I notice there's sometimes a little damage here or some printing defects here. There's like an indentation sometimes on this book as well. I can't remember where it is. All right. That is a better start than I ever could hope for because that's 2 of the books that I really was hoping got the 9.8. I've still got a couple pretty big books in here though. Let's see what we got. Let's pull from the end. All right. Amazing Spider-Man 319. Now this is not a big key, but this is one of the McFarlane Amazing Spider-Man run books that I did not have in a 9.8. I'm trying to get the entire McFarlane run in a 9.8. So this fills a little gap for me. Not worth a whole bunch of money, but it's worth a lot to me because it's from that era that I was collecting comic books, and I always bought the McFarlane or all the Amazing Spider-Man books. And I just happened to be collecting, and I just bought a subscription to Amazing Spider-Man when McFarlane came along. So it was a very good time to be collecting comics back then. So yeah, white pages on that. Okay. Let's see what else we got. Let's see how many books are in here. 1, 2, looks like 3 more. So it looks like we got 6. Okay. That's 6 out of 9, man. When you're expecting or hoping for 9.6s, that's cool. All right, another 319. Okay. So I got 2 of them. I guess I had submitted 2. I forgot that. Yep. They were both equally the same amount of defects, so I'll just pick the one that I think has the better centering and keep it for myself and probably sell the other one. All right. Let's move on. The next, we got 2 more here, so let's pull this one. I got a good feeling about this one. Okay, X-Men 134. Very, very cool book. As you know, a lot of you know that have been following the channel, I have a soft spot for yellow covers. So anytime I see one out there in high grade, I pretty much got to buy it. So I paid $81 for this because I thought it looked so nice, but I thought when I got it in, it was an obvious 9.8. The only issue was there was some rust on the bottom staple, right there. Well, you probably can't see the staple, but my magic eraser, I call it that, I was able to get most of the rust off. You can actually see on there, I haven't cleaned this thing, you can see some rust from a staple. Not really rust, but sometimes you get that kind of that hazy black gray look to it. you can take that off. And everything that I use to, this is on my website. Everything I use to collect is on my website at improvedcollecting.com. So don't give up on a staple that has either slight rust or even moderate rust. You can get a lot of it off with this. The only problem is it can sometimes migrate to the paper, and then you're pretty much done. Now, you actually can get it off. It's just very challenging. So when you're working on a staple, you use some SRP paper, put it up under the staple. I talked about this in a prior video. And then you can work on the staple without having to worry about damaging the spine. But once it's migrated, I mean, you could try using that eraser on it. You'll get some of it off, but sometimes it takes a scraper, and you're in danger of actually damaging the paper and maybe even creating a hole. So you got to be very careful with it. So it's a very delicate process, and not for the faint-hearted. But I was obviously successful on this one because we got the 9.8 white pages. This is an awesome key. Probably has quite a bit of value. So yeah, let's see what we got left. We got some really, really cool books left. Let's hope we got one of those, actually two big keys left. Here we go. Okay, Transformers 68. Now, this is toward the end of the Transformers run. I think it went up to 80. Very, very hard to find these in any grade, much less ultra high grade. So anytime I do see a really high grade copy of number 68, 70, 72, 74, any of them, all the way from 50 up, I will immediately buy it and pay pretty good sums of money for it if I think it can get the 9.8, because these have quite a bit of value in a 9.8. So yeah, thrilled to have that in a 9.8. Let me see if I have any notes on this one. There's actually a small little crease, I think, right here on the back spine. I'm not sure where it is exactly. Maybe you can see it better on camera. That I thought would hold it back potentially, or allow it only to get the 9.8. But apparently that was all that was wrong with it, because we got the 9.8. So the books that did not get 9.8, we have an EverQuest #1, a square-bound book. I had a feeling that would be challenging. Really, the only thing wrong with it is like 3 wrinkles on the spine. And I've seen several copies of this book, and they all kind of have that. So I thought maybe that would be a common defect. So I'll have to check, see why I think it did not get the 9.8. Maybe it's a resubmit. We had an X-Men 192 newsstand. Looked like it was an obvious 9.8. This is one of the nicer copies. Actually, that was the second nicest copy that I submitted, so what's going on here? That's really strange. And we had an X-Men 266, which was tied for the second nicest copy. So the 3 nicest copies, the least amount of defects, did not get 9.8, and the rest did. That is really strange. So yeah, very, very happy to get these books back in the 9.8. Not going to complain. Probably got to resubmit the other 3 because those were the nicest books, right? As far as grade goes, in my opinion. But I'll have to look them over first off and just see what we think. So yeah, thanks again for watching. Stay nerdy, and I will see you in the next video.